Hey everyone, it's Tania. So this week I will be discussing chapter 15, which basically goes into the whole process of free speech. So to begin with, it touches up on a reporter from the school wanting to do a report on the differences between a U.S. education and a foreign country's education. So she wanted to figure out what was the whole difference in the whole academic procedure with how they would handle academics in their country versus how the United States handles academics in our country. So first and foremost, she went about wanted to interview students that were foreign exchange students from the North America area. So she focused on trying to figure out what she wanted to do and how she wanted to report her whole thing with the education. So, with that being said, it was brought to her attention by her editor that she should just focus on interviewing one student rather than multiple students, just to narrow it down to specifically what their family background is, what they would expect, and how the person would perceive the education procedure in their country. Going off of that, she finds a student that she found interesting and decided to interview him. It was a young man. She decided to interview him. And with her interviewing him, she let it be known, like, hey, I just want you to know that, with me being a reporter, a journalist, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be recording this and it will be published. So do I, do consenting, basically asking for his consent to record the whole interview of them speaking to each other about the education. So she let him know that. After her letting him know, they then go on to talk about how things were different in his country to the United States. So from that point on forward, he mentions how it's completely different to what he's used to in his country, and his parents are into politics a lot. So in his mind, what he's about to say in this interview wouldn't affect them in any way, but it did. In his interview, he mentions how with him having an education, seeking an education in the US, it was completely different, and he wanted his country to kind of follow the same things that the United States was doing with how they teach us, with bringing that over and teaching them the same way. But the people from his country, sorry, looking at my notes, to Tanashi, I really don't know the pronunciation, didn't take that respectfully. They took it as a sign of being disobedience, and he wasn't being appreciative of what his country does offer to him. So like I stated, his family being very into politics, on the politics side, it was a very bad thing on their end because it affected his family name. Once it was published, everyone knew where it was coming from. It got so big to the point where the government from the country, Tanache, ended up contacting the school and letting them know, hey, we need you to take this down because we want you to take it down. And we responded with saying, no, we don't want to take it down, we're going to keep it up. And their next response was basically wanting to threaten the student that participated in the video, to threaten, okay, if he comes back home, X, Y, and Z will be done to him. So for the school's sake and for the student's sake, the reporter decided that the best way to handle this situation was to not delete the video, but she went ahead and removed his last name off of the video and removed his face from the platform, just to not have so much backlash and heat on his family's name, so it wouldn't affect them that much. So yeah, that's basically what she did with this whole situation, to not have it to escalate, to just try to make sure that the student will be safe when he comes back home. So within this in this whole thing, I thought it was pretty interesting how other students come over here and value our learning and feels like, okay, it should be taught in their curriculum, they should be taught this way. So I feel like it was really interesting to know that when, well, with the student that was interviewed, he enjoyed what he was learning here and wanted to incorporate that in his hometown's academic process. So I didn't find nothing big with that, but other, just like I said, other countries don't value things how we value things. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I found it very interesting, and yeah, thank you.